world, hello friends, welcome back to another devlog for my upcoming game, Rainy Day, a casual mobile game about financial literacy. I don't want to waste your time, so building on the daily scoring limit that I introduced last devlog, I have made more daily features such as a daily reward system, and I honestly don't feel 100% good about this part of the idea. I know it's pretty common in mobile games, but I just feel like this is a pretty low move that I'm doing to try and better engage my players. It's just buried in psychological tricks that can potentially get players addicted, not really engaged. Of course, I want people to play my game, but it just feels irresponsible. I'm really hoping that the real content of my attempts to financial awareness shines over all of this, and that the daily limits of the game stops the project from getting to the wrong end of the spectrum. A part of me also thinks that it fits in the whole theme of work in the game, because in real life it's a big step to just show up. Still, it doesn't translate as well with this feature and doesn't make me feel a whole lot better. We will test it out, so here's the typical daily reward system I've made. Don't mind the text where it mentions when the next reward is, because that is the actual time left until midnight and I didn't bother updating it. And for this demo, I've only made a day equal to 10 seconds so I can show that the day-to-day system works in this video, but I need to do more testing and designing for when players are out of the application. So the first time players open the game for the day, they get to claim coins and get to see the rewards they could get putting on a daily streak. It's simple, straightforward. I've mentioned my opinions about it and I would love to hear yours. And to answer my question from the last devlog, the pseudonym for the score in Rainy Day will be coins. The game's currency is the score, so just showing up for the day will give players a higher score, but I feel better about the other daily features that are more so about the real content of the game, rather than a psychological trick. And here is the investing feature that will open and close a simulation of the stock market daily. And in the game, stocks fluctuate up or down to represent the average movement of the type of stock it has cloned in real life. And when I say cloned, I don't mean real time, and that the movement of the stock is just based off of a statistical range that I hard-coded. The general cloned stocks are index stocks, blue chip stocks, green chip stocks, and cryptocurrencies. I've given each stock a base price of 600 and it'll increase or decrease from there. Players will decide what's best for their money, score, with the investment they buy or sell. Also, for this to work, I needed to distinguish the difference between the player's total coins versus their available coins for spending. And something cool with these stocks that I'm thinking of is naming them after my supporters as well, so do visit my website to make that happen. Anyway, the whole idea here is to let players be aware of the fact that it is possible to grow money other than just putting it in a bank. I'm not a financial advisor, but I specifically will design the game in favor of the players investing in basket of stocks, which would be the index stock in the game. I just really believe that it's the most carefree way to invest, with average returns of 10% annually rather than trying to beat the market trading. And I'll stop there just to prevent myself from rambling even more. It would be a win if the game gets one player to even research into getting started, opening up a TFSA or ARRSP, whatever it's equivalent to in their country, and get started with investing, other than just a rainy day fund for when something goes wrong. Moving on, this is a feature of the game I'm hoping players will actually avoid, but I put it in there to build player resilience from spending money on the things that aren't really needed. To help with this, I've made it so that players can only ever rent background colors for 2 weeks or so worth of gameplay, then it goes back to default. This is something I wish will bleed into their real life somehow, some way. I would like to add more cosmetics that challenges players to avoid superficial in-game temptations, so if you have any ideas you would like to share, reach out. As usual, subscribe on here or on the preferred media in my link tree down in the description to stay updated. If you're ever interested in having your name forever embedded in the startup screen of the game, consider doing a top donation subscription tier on my website. Anything helps, so even a free subscription on there is huge, and you will be emailed a link to beta test Rainy Day once it's available. Thank you for listening, and special thank you shout out to my website supporters who donated in November. Thank you, Laura Milligan.